So you are unique to the show. You were there from the beginning, but also you've kind of grown up on this show and you've been in this bubble. Has that been a good experience for you in terms of as a young actor that you're in something so big from the beginning?
Definitely. I mean, it's hard to say whether it's a good experience or a bad experience because it's the only experience I've ever had. You only get one chance at growing up. But it's been extraordinary. I mean, just today I've flown back from Colombia. I got to spend the weekend doing a Comic-Con, and just all these things that I never, you'd never ever think would happen to you, have happened to me because of Game of Thrones. I've been able to travel the world. I've been able to meet fabulous people, work with fabulous people for 10 years of my life, and get this kind of unique insight into the actor's world at the very top of it from the very start of my life. So it's undoubtedly been an incredible experience.
Yeah. When you were first starting out in this, what was it about the character that kind of drew you to him? Because he's, as with many of the other characters, evolved in so many different and surprising ways over the years.
Well, to be honest, at the very start I was only 10, so I hadn't read all that many scripts, to be honest. I wasn't sort of going, oh yeah, I like the sound of Bran. I was just going, oh cool, yeah, acting. But then as I got older and became more aware of the fact that I was playing a part and had an opportunity to sort of do something quite cool with the character, I really grew to love Bran and find him so interesting. I think perhaps the most interesting thing was the fact that I got to more or less play an entirely new character midway through the same television series, which I don't think anyone really gets to do. And there's just so much depth and complexity in Bran, and he was just a really special character to get to play.
I'm sure he kind of evolved in surprising ways, but when you were given the scripts for season 8 and discovered what was happening, what was that experience like for you reading it? Because I guess you really want to tell people what's happening, but also you know that if you do, you're probably going to get shot by someone.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, at first I couldn't believe it. I thought, no, they're having me on. They're having me on, because our producers were famous for giving out fake prank scripts. So I was convinced everyone had got a script where they became king or they became queen. And then it kind of sunk in, and then I thought, oh God, I've got to keep this a secret for nearly 2 years. But I did pretty well. I didn't let it slip, mainly because of the fear of devastating legal action by HBO hanging over your head.
What was the most kind of surprising thing in terms of when you went through the seasons? Because all the other characters say they evolve in various different ways. When you got to say the middle of the show, was there anything that you were like, wow, this is an intriguing moment in my character's career?
I mean, I think probably when he becomes a three-eyed raven, I don't think you can have any more of a dramatic character transition than that. Literally becoming a new character and losing everything really that was Bran. That was a real challenge to go from being very familiar with this character of Bran Stark and then all of a sudden have to throw him out the window. So I enjoyed that. I thought that was a really cool, really unusual thing.
Yeah. Just as a final question, do you have a favourite moment throughout the season for yourself personally, or in the show as a whole that you will always remember?
There are lots and lots and lots. Me personally, it will, and it's not just because I became king in this scene, but that final scene in the Dragon Pit, because it was a real kind of, felt like a very classic Game of Thrones scene. It was 10 minutes of just dialogue. And it was fabulously written, and we got to spend 5 days in Seville watching Peter Dinklage deliver this extraordinary speech, and play against the people we'd known for years in sort of this final climax of the show. So I thought that was a really special moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!